This is an IDE introduction for Programming 1 students. This is going to be a quick look at the IDE, just enough to get you started. First thing we're going to look at is opening up a new project. I already have Visual Studio 2010 open up in front of me. I want to show you more than one way to open a project. The curriculum wants you to know more than one way. The easy way or the quick way is right in front of you. It says New Project. But I want you to be aware of these menus and take a look at the menus. They tell you a whole lot of information. If I want to start a new project, I can come over to the File menu, and in the first item there it says New Project, but take a look at what's in front of you. All these icons over to the left. If there is a toolbar button that will do the same thing as the menu command, then it will be listed next to the menu command. So all these have icons on the toolbar that will do the same thing. Also with the hotkeys over on the right hand side, if there's a hotkey shortcut that will do the menu command, then it will also be listed. Not all of them have hotkeys, but New Project does. And I want to show you where here's the icon for New Project. And it also, if you hover over top of it, it will show you what the hotkey is. So let's just go ahead and start a new project. In here, I want you to, every time you open up a new project, please give it a descriptive name. Please do not ever accept the default name. Once you have many programs and you've accepted all the default names, it's tough to find the one you're looking for. This one is just going to be IDE Demo. Okay, now for a real quick tour. The way we have our windows set up, we're going to expect to see the toolbox over here on the left hand side. Now, yes, you can move these around anywhere you want, but I'd appreciate it if you kept them in the same configuration. It makes it easier for me when I'm coming around trying to help you. If I don't have to try and figure out how you've personalized your IDE, it would be very helpful. So let's keep the toolbox over on the left hand side. On the right hand side, I'd like to see the Solution Explorer up top, and underneath that, the Properties window. In the center here is the Design. This is where you're going to design your form. If, for whatever reason, they are not open, you might have closed them by accident or whatever have you, come up here to the windows or to the menus. If you go to View, let's see, Solution Explorer, Toolbox, and Properties windows. Notice they all have icons and they have shortcut keys also. Where is the solution? There it is right there. Alright, typically they're going to be right up here, or at least they are on my screen. Solution Explorer, let's get that back open. Properties window is right next to it, let's get that open. And the Toolbox right here, let's open up that. Now I'm going to do a demo program, just a simple hello world. So I'm going to put a button, come over here to the toolbox, find the object that you want to add. I double clicked on it, and let's see, choose a label. Let's double click on that label, put it up there. And now that I'm finished with the toolbox, I want to go ahead and move it off to the side. So auto hide, unpin it, and let it hide off to the side. It's still here if I need it, but it's giving me more room to work. Alright, now I'm going to make use of the Properties window because I want to change some of the properties around. So with the button selected, I want to start off by changing the name button, or the name property of that button. Something descriptive. We'll get into the naming, how to name them later. And the text property. So that's been changed. Go up to the label. I'll do the same thing on the label. Let me get rid of the text property and just leave it blank. So I'm going to change it programmatically with a little bit of code. Change the name property because I'm going to be referring to it in code. And please don't ever leave form 1 up here. Let's go ahead and change that also. So I select the form and come down to the text property. And let's see, IDE Demo. Alright, so I have all my all my objects. Now, it might look like at this point, what happened to my label? It was up there. I can't find it. There's a couple ways you can find something. You just come down here, highlight everything, and say, well, there it is. I found it. Or you can come over here to your properties window, drop this list down, and find your label. Here's my label right there. I'll select that, and you see it's now selected over here on the form. Well, let's go to the code, and let's make a little bit of code so we can change the text property. I want, when I click this button, I want Hello World to appear inside this label. So if I were doing this through the window, this is what it would look like. Come to the text property. This is what it's going to look like when I'm finished. Alright, except I don't want it there when the program starts. I want it there after I click on the button. So we'll do this by writing a little bit of code. Let's go to the code view, and let me show you where to get there. I want to view my code. You see there's a button and there's a hotkey, or I could click on the menu. Over here is where the button is. View code. Now notice there's another tab up here. That's what it is. So if I can switch back and forth from design view to my code view. Now in the code view, I am going to select the button, and in the, let's see, that was the class drop down list, and this is the methods drop down list. I'm going to select click, and it creates a click event for me. Now in this click event, I'm just going to write a little bit of code. I'm going to reference the label, and then I want to access the text property by typing a period. It's called dot notation, and we want to assign it. So that is going to be assigned the value of, and it's going to put it in quotes, hello world, in the quotes, and that's all the code we want. Now let's test this. Testing it or running it, executing it, it's referred to as debugging. Now I can come to the debug menu, and I can start my debugging, but you see there's an icon for it. In the tool, there's a toolbar button for it, and there's also a hotkey. Let's just go ahead and start debugging. Here it is. I click say hello. It triggers the event procedure, runs the line of code, updates the text property of my label. And that's all there is to it for your just getting started. This is a quick look at the IDE, just enough to get started, and there it is.